Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot oracle, your daily insight on life and love for June 7th, 2022. Also being timeless, wherever you're catching in time, it could be relevant, maybe not so much, but if you found your amazing way across this, stick around. There might be either entertainment or a message in here for you, but I do hope that you stick around. This is General Collective. Don't ever force these to fit your life. You can let fall away. If you want to finish the reading, because there's a little blip of this on here, definitely go check out Raising Savick Tarot on YouTube. That's where you'll find the entire video. If you have questions about booking a private reading or any of the services I provide, go to the description, find the email address, and definitely hit me up. You can also find me on all social platforms at Raising Savick. So I think, my TikTok is Raising Savick LLC, but all the other ones are just Raising Savick. There's no punctuation, no underscores, no numbers. It's always one word. Anyway, good to see you. I want to talk about what's going on with you and the people that you've been reuniting with or connecting with, talking to. People have been coming across your visual, whether it's online or in person. And it does feel like it's very past oriented. This might be you and reconnecting with some friends you may have gone to elementary or high school with. It might be family friends. Regardless, it looks like with you, there's obviously a difference of life paths that I'm seeing here. And I see that you're actually making some really fast movement in your life. Either that or there's the hope to start picking up the pace. You want to move on, you want to grow up, you want to do what you are here to do. It's not even about having necessarily a hustle. It's about living your life in the most authentic way possible, not feeling like you're stuck in some sort of yesteryears. Now, I know that those can be like the good old days, and I'm not dogging them, I'm really not. But this feels like the desire to change your identity, and you have to let old stories about yourself go to rest. And I think that, I do feel like that this might be a particular issue with you because the older or the younger version of yourself, the old you, the younger version of yourself, what would they be like if they saw who you are becoming now? Like who you are, who you're becoming, what you surround yourself with? Would this be a point of, impressing that younger version of yourself or showing them how perseverant you are? Or would this be an opportunity to either reparent that version of yourself or live up to the expectations and be that person who you needed in that time? Are you living your authentic life? Are you doing what you had always wanted to do? Did you grow in the way that you thought that you did? How is your life taking shape? I don't care if the yesteryears were literally yesterday, or if you are in your 90s watching this, it's talking about your evolution and actually that your life isn't over. This is just starting, whatever this chapter is, and it's super awesome. It's very exciting. So I see that there's an anxiousness. Now, maybe you're doing this thing where you are comparing yourself to the old version or either your peers. It does feel like it's peer oriented, your peers' paths. Anything and everything looks perfect at face value, or it's an entire illusion at face value. You never quite know what's going on behind closed doors. So this is saying, it's kind of saying that with this first part. The second part is you and being kind of in control of your situation, your life, and seeing how much you have mentally changed. Look at all the life that you have experienced between then and now. I do see that this is a point of celebration and celebrating how far you've come, but also it's tightly guarding it, which is dealing with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Normally it's about somebody who's kind of pushy, ungrounded, maybe even feels like a bad person. But I feel like this is a point of you protecting your either what you've achieved already or what it is that you are setting out to achieve. And all around it feels very celebratory. So I'm really enjoying this for you. It feels like more of a challenge for you to overcome, if not the projection from the peers, but definitely from yourself. So it's time for kind of like a self-check and evaluation. And I do feel like this is probably going to be something that's very motivating, ambitious even. And I feel like this self-check might prove that maybe you are not as far behind as you had thought you were, not even against anybody else's path, but kind of like your own. So this is where we're kicking off the reading. It's really intense as far as looking at you and yourself. I want to see what the mermaids and dolphins have to say about this, because I'm feeling pulled to there. You know how I go through seasons of the different cards that I use. I haven't been pulled to use this up until recently. I kind of want to see what they have to say, whether it's advice, what to look out for. What's this? Simplify your life. All right. You know, we can look at this as spring cleaning, even though depending on where you are in time, it probably should have been done a few months ago. How did I know Mother Healing was going to come out with this? Oh yeah. Sorry, a little bit obnoxious with that one. Ready, set, go. All right. Consult an expert. Listen. I really like this. You may be inspired to clear some things out of your life. It's not just about simplifying. Simplifying in the sense of it's black or it's white. No, it's a point of actually decluttering all aspects of your life. It's not right or wrong, it is or it isn't. Does that make sense? Or do I just kind of sound almost hypocritical in this? What I'm seeing in here is having a little bit less of a burden to protect in your life. Now, I'm not saying materials aren't great. I, love, getting certain things as much as the next person, but this is talking about the season of purge, clearing up, simplifying, because hey, simplify your life. The Mother Healing is coming in to where you don't have to fill any sort of void with these items or whatever it is that you've been stacking on your plate. This is coming from a sense of false validation and worthiness. I cannot give anybody any sort of crap for that. Look at all the tarot cards I have. Look at, well, you can't see the gemstones, and I'm not about to show you my Merlin's desk, but I got a ton of gemstones and collectibles from Oceans. I get it. So what I'm saying in this is you need to clear out because you are making way for something that you have been manifesting and drawing in, and now it's hitting that block. So let's look at what this block is. This is where it says, what are you manifesting? Oh, the music for manifesting, and consult an expert. It might be beneficial for you to have an outsider kind of talk through this with you, see what it is that you're drawing in. I don't want you to get stuck in this mentality of lack. That's a very nerve-wracking place to be. Hearing that in the background. The ocean, getting into the flow state and flushing yourself out, steady progress. This is dealing with family. What are you giving and receiving? I want focus on service. Whatever it is that's coming towards you, and I know that you must be incredibly sick of hearing that. It's coming, it's just behind you. Hold on just a little bit longer. How much more are you gonna have to hold on to? I am so over readers saying that, but also saying it in these two. What the hecking heck is on its way to you? how the hecking heck are you gonna know it when it gets here? It's obnoxious at times, and I love doing what I do, but sometimes it's like, Spirit, I need you to be a little bit more clear on what the heck is coming my way. All right, I'm getting pulled to the postcards from Spirit, so apparently this is somehow connected to that. I'm gonna read just one card. Sometimes you feel like no one understands you, you're not heard, or that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion, and although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, we who love you know better. You are never alone, and even when rejection happens, you are ultimately being protected so better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. Everyone on this side of the veil is watching over you and rooting for you for your ultimate success. Life loves you. We love you. And you're a unique spark of the divine that's always connected to light and to source. You're always in our care. Trust and keep the faith. Love you always and forever. So what is this telling you? It's, yes, nobody really quite understands the path that you're on, which that would bring about the comparing that this was talking to in the beginning, or even maybe you don't even understand the path that you're on. And that's kind of what Spirit's trying to clear up with you. So it brings about the narrative of false starts, and even I have seen falsehood in the connections. Now, initially I thought I was being pulled to the Whispers of Love, but the deck that's underneath it that I'm genuinely being called to is it's Angel Therapy. So there's something in this particular set of the cards that needs to come out in this, and I'm going to shuffle these until something comes out. So what do you need to know? Well, we have miracles, nature, and body care. And what's this one? Harmony. It's not really telling me what I need to know, Spirit. What else? Music. Okay, what am I seeing in this? So what has passed you by in life? This, I feel, is hitting a very raw nerve, because why couldn't it be you? Why wasn't it you? What about you was so passable? This could be involving promotions, jobs. It could be important relationships in your life. But the thing is, it passed up because it's not because you're inferior. There's something that is deep rooted in this that was either not long term, even though it seems like a guarantee, or it's about how something would never have worked out in the first place. This form of rejection and having a door shut in front of you. We like to sometimes believe that it's, us. And you want to know what? Maybe what was calling out was suited better for somebody else, because you have to remember every single thing in life is in co-creation with an object next to it, or with a life next to it, or with anything that is not it. You are in co-creation even with the device that you are using, even within the walls that you sit in. Everything that is outside of you is in co-creation to the very existence, the very consciousness that you are. And that's a mental mind F. It's kind of chaos theory, if you ask me. But everything outside of you is because it is not you. Does that make sense? So, if something is rejecting you, then this is because it was not yours to begin with. Like if it's a person or a job or a promotion, fill in the blank with that. Whatever it was that said no to you, it's because it was not of you and it had to say yes to what it was. And the same goes for you. You say yes to something that is in alignment with you. and the vibration that you are. So actually, I want to read in the law of vibration with this because I think that it's incredibly relevant. Where the hecking heck is my book? There it is. So the law of vibration. Where the hecking heck is it? There we go. So everything shows us that everything attracts or repels other energies in the environment. It shows us how energy or vibration is a frequency, and it broadcasts. I did not sleep last night, by the way. Sorry about the yawns. It broadcasts throughout our everyday lives. To better understand this, we want you to know what our own frequency is. We want to know what our own frequency is. We're not talking about the aura of the body, which is different. An aura is a subtle energy field around the body, but one's frequency is just part of that aura. Many frequencies in the aura are created by our thoughts and our wants. Think about this as a radio. There is one radio, but many stations in this radio or on this radio which you can turn to have a different experience. Each one of us has a frequency unique to ourselves, the vibration of the soul. This frequency broadcasts throughout the universe. This is how a soul family, no matter where they are on the planet, will find you. The more conscious you are, or we are, of that frequency, the more we can gravitate to soul family and contracts to us. So let's see. Hold on there. I think there's one other part to this I want to read. So the next time you're walking into a place or a situation that does not feel comfortable, tell yourself to go to soul frequency or to go neutral. Notice how much more understanding and wisdom you have in the situation or the person at hand. Write about these experiences in your journal. You'll see growth from doing this. Going into neutral, my leg's falling asleep, sorry. Also assists us to be around without being an uncomfortable energy for them. It assists us to find a new way to dance with each other. If someone is bothered by your energy, it does not mean you are not meant to work together. It is a lesson in how you can dance this dance of life together and enhance each other. Being in soul provides new and unlimited experiences for all. Make sure your energy is a clear frequency by having clarity in thought and questions. If you do not, then your answer will return with the same lack of clarity or static. Pay attention if you are putting frequencies out in every day that is clear and with direct focus. So whatever you are unclear about, you will receive a lack of clarity about. Whatever you are very clear about, you will receive clarity. And if you are not, how can you be even more clear? I got tingles in my leg. Oh, it's like that static. Oh my God. Okay. So, my dear, what do you need to know about this? The energy that you're tuning into, what is it leading you to? It's showing you where you've had the sense of worthlessness or unworthiness, and it's actually having you cut through it all very fast. It's leading you to a sense of relief and a sense of reciprocity from not only relationships, but consciousness around you. What you are putting out is coming back towards you. It kind of goes with that what you seek is seeking you. It's true, but what you are putting out, either you're putting out intentionally or maybe not so much, but whatever you are putting out, it will reverberate right back to you. So this is what I see coming back. The Two of Cups energy, which is very positive. It's balance, it's restoration. If we're looking at a relationship, it's like my favorite card to have. And as far as a relationship goes, you have some amazing potential with a partner in your life. Or if this is about the reflection or your personal growth, a job opportunity, a life situation, know that you are going to have a ton of fulfillment coming in through it. So final cards for this. I got it. This is great. You need to find out what makes you come alive rather than depending on what makes everyone else come alive. That is not a reflection. That is a major one-sided mirror. And it is something that people need to start seeing through. That's going to be difficult for you to end. This is going to be not about how much you can serve everybody in this respect, but how you can serve in the most authentic way of yourself. It is a ginormous commitment, and it is going to be something that grows and evolves throughout time. It's a constant check-in with the energy that you are putting out, but it feels all around happy. But that happiness has to start with the intention of yourself, through yourself, before you just put your happiness into somebody else's hands. You know, when we talk about happiness, when we talk about purpose, it's usually in alignment with what can you do for somebody else. That's great, fine, and dandy, but until you are completely in check with yourself and doing something for yourself, then that purpose is going to be on a hollow foundation. It's not negative if you are being a service to others. And it does give a lot of people a sense of validation, but you have to have something at the core and the epicenter of self in order to extend this into mirroring back validation of the effort that you put in. Does that make sense? This has been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for June 7th, 2022. Again, being timeless. If you have questions about booking a private reading of any kind or any of the services I provide, don't forget the email address, or you can find me on the social platforms with @RaisingSavak. My TikTok is @RaisingSavakLLC though. I do hope that you have an amazing day, and until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you are greatly loved and appreciated. Hey, welcome back, sunshine. We are doing Law 3 today. We're going to talk about the law of action. I'm going through all these again because these are longer than a minute now, which, yay, no rushing. So the law of action must be applied in order for us to manifest things on earth. Therefore, we must engage in action that supports thought, dreams, emotion, and words. The law of action is simple, yet the least understood. This law means that if you want to move within the world consciously, planting seeds that will provide for results is the thing that you truly want. Yeah, I thought I read that weird for a moment. These actions can be as simple as reading about things that you love or having passion for. They could be studying things that you want to do later in life, or talking about what you've already learned in life to assist in moving forward in your life. Action is taking part in life, and in doing this, you'll be given and giving to be open to receiving. So what you are studying, what you are reading, what you are taking a chance on, the people that you're connecting to, your point of action and what you put your physical and mental energy into is going to yield the result for whatever the funnel that you've been putting it into. So this is something that you have to really question yourself. Is it worth your while? Or are you doing things that maybe just sound good, but you don't have an emotional connection to? If you're doing it, you're still going to have a result, but it's not going to be that fulfillment that you want. It's not the ends justify the means in this particular instance. There's absolutely a thing of discipline, but you have to want it more than you don't. Does that make sense? Okay, so practicing and teaching. Taking action is more than talking about what you've learned. Action is actually going out and practicing or teaching what you've learned. An example in this may be you went through a divorce and experienced finding easier and better ways to process action. Then when you then share this experience with others so that they find that information to walk more joyfully and inform their own relationship challenges. You may also have done research about nutrition so that you and your family could live healthier lifestyles and then share that information with others. This is another example of action in teaching what you have learned in life. So, What actions, what drives, what ambitions, what are you spending your time doing? Is this something that's making you come to life, or are there some things that you could tweak? But also, I want to ask, do you even know what you actively want to do? Like, do you know what you want to spend your time doing? Or has it been this constant of you do what you know that you should, and you don't have a strong attachment to it? If you don't have a strong attachment to what you're doing, how do you want to start finding that? And I guess that kind of feeds in, I'm reading this book, but as I'm talking to you about this, if you do have questions about what it is that you want to start putting your action into, I guess you can message me about coaching. Yeah, so go to the description and find the ways of contact and send me a DM if you'd like. But if not, this is clearly something that it makes you check the motivation behind your actions. I hope that this made sense. All right, this is very quickly becoming one of my favorites, right next to the laws of the universe, which yesterday I said the laws of nature, but no, I was kind of drained from driving, but it's laws of the universe. So my second favorite thing on here now that has been growing is the postcards from spirit. So this is going to be from a spirit guide or a loved one who has crossed over. Just listen with an open heart and an open mind. If you found your way across this, you probably need to hear what this message says. If not, then this is just a point of entertainment for you, but I'm glad that you're here regardless. So, dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you'll be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant and you are and always have been enough. And abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, then you can and will create it. Now, when I first read this, eons ago, it was when you think of something as truth, it was like, okay, I'm going to trick myself into believing this. But that didn't make sense. So as this has been digesting, and I've read this more than a few times, when you consistently focus on what is the truth in your life, what is true for you as an individual, that is what's going to come to pass. Anything that's inauthentic will be shown as to how inauthentic and why inauthentic it is. So you are on the right path right now, so keep leaving it, and then the seeing happens. So let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside your everyday moment-to-moment experience, thinking you'll find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing the magical it out there, but they can't be found out there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy. And every time you wake up, and even when you go to sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside of you. Joy and happiness and fullness come from doing joy, being joy, knowing it, cultivating it, and lighting it up in your heart so that you can share it. You must know this, so when the time comes, you'll be fully free and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful, for even for tears and loss, it means that you have lived. Really lived. Jump into it and love every minute of it. So it might be hard for you to believe that you'll get to where you want to go and feel the way you want to feel and find peace and security, but you can. There's a lot to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of this attachment to achieving certain results. It's easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so that you can feel safe. The only way is to surrender to the attachment and empty yourself so that you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better waits and that something will open up and you'll see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into the loop, what you are really looking for is spirit. So that connection is where the power, the peace, and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We've got you. This was a pretty consistent message today. So what does this mean for you? I would love to know. Send me a DM or put it in the comments. But I get if you don't want to do that because sometimes public, you don't want to share public. So send me a DM. It'll be great to hear from you. You're not going to make any headway with people who are just not in sync with you, not in alignment with you, and who almost, it seems like they almost are deliberately there to try and misunderstand you. It feels like a major letdown that's been occurring in your life, and I think that this may be a cycle from more youthful times for you, where you feel like you've just been an option, but never the actual choice. That's a really hard pill to swallow. When do you start showing up for yourself? I get that you probably take care of yourself and that you are your biggest cheerleader, but when do you actually choose yourself rather than just work yourself? I really want you to pay attention to that. This is about putting a fire under your keister so that you can stop trying to make some sort of headway with this person who doesn't see the light that you are, and stop trying to get through to them. This isn't going to be a language that they understand. They hear you, but they aren't understanding this. It's a time of healing and time for you to start putting on a pause. This is kind of bittersweet because we have the wishes in reverse, so that's where the letdown is coming from. It's bitter, but there is a sweetness that follows when you stop relying on the unreliable or people who are not meant for you, and you stop fighting against where this current is taking you. It is a point of surrender. So after you do that, what's going to follow this for you? After you let go, after you surrender, after you stop trying to convince people to keep you in their circle or around or see you as valuable, what's going to happen? You have an entirely different path that yields, just victory, success, fruitfulness. It's fast, it's rushing in, it's two roads, and it's going to be something that builds confidence. I see that this is going to be a time of introspection, and this, you gotta occupy your mind while there's chaos all around you. Do not go towards self-indulgence at this point. I don't care if it's food, spending, any sort of substance issues. Overindulgence is not going to get you through this at this point in time. The issue that you are processing at hand is going to be waiting for you on the other side as a dead seed. So the final card for this little clip is, it might be a moment of loneliness. I can't leave it like that. Come on. Okay. So it looks like trying to get you back, the charming you, not the perfect you. The imperfect you is just amazing, and it's something that's divinely protected. Somebody who's very future oriented and who keeps moving on. And they have a very loud presence. This is you. You don't need to ask for permission to be accepted and live. It's a matter of you standing very strong, very firm, and having people just behold the magic that you are without trying to convince them that. Either they see it or they don't, but that is not yours to manage. All right, you. I hope this made sense. All right, time to hop on the train. What I'm seeing in here is a very loud train. Keep it going. Get the message. Come on. There's lots of laws that are at play right now. There's something inside of you that is really waking up, and it's becoming incredibly powerful. It's dying to be noticed, but there's something that you need to clean up and let go of. I think you and what you're hoarding mentally onto or emotionally holding on to, it's not you being lazy to just let something go. It's taking away the comparison of the outside circumstances or people, because you're putting your timeline against somebody else's timeline, and it's robbing you of the here and now because it's making you anxious of whatever future is not even yours to begin with. All right. So the breathe in reverse, the clean it up. What is it that you need to let go of when it comes to other people and the ambitions that they have and the drive that they have? So the time to go in reverse. Why are you hanging on to their ideals? Be in the present and the here and now, and stop putting the reflection on other people's, because all you're going to get is this seeking of approval and feeling like you're not being approved in general. So go check out the Daily Tarot and Oracle for June 7th, 2022, being timeless. This talks a lot about the law of vibration, which is what I feel that's coming at hand right now. So when you let go of this comparison and let the laws of the universe come into play, I do feel like this is something where you see that you are too close to them and you do find the separation and you have to redefine your happiness. So this, it seems like it's a painful lesson because there will be a separation of people in your life, but also this gives you a second chance at life to let go and to start understanding something. You already said yes to this, and that's what gets me. That's why everything is going up in flames and crumbling, and that's why it's going up in flames, and it's the phoenix comes out of the ashes. That's what this is about. It's meant to make you stronger, to make you face your fear in this. And it's not going to be laying in other people. It's going to be all the ways in which why you didn't trust yourself to be that own response, to be that point of action. You got it? Let me know how this resonates. So apparently what you need to do right now is not make any sort of irrational moves. What's going on with you? It looks like there's a lot of self-deprecation and hatred that's going on. And it looks like that's been kind of your mode for a little bit. I'm using the Mermaids and Dolphins deck. You are hypercritical of yourself, and let's see, you don't think that you deserve any better. This is something that is very deep-seated, and this does kind of suggest that you talk to somebody. Look at what I'm looking at right here. There's somebody who needs to see this and show you what's what, rather than letting you sit alone in your head about it. So this, you can't continue on this way. This is absolutely self-abuse. No matter how you try and swing it, this is very it's messed up to do to yourself. So the have faith in the treasure chest is, are you ever going to even like yourself, or are you ever going to put stock in what your point of view is and your insight or any of that? And the cards are saying, yeah, you are. Believe it or not, there will be a day that you wake up where you don't hate yourself, where you don't see yourself as, the person who has to suffer at the hands of everybody, or who's just an option to others, that you do deserve the best. You are worthy of your dreams, your ambitions, and everything that you are going after. So who's going to be this person? I'm still being pulled to the same deck, so this is going to be somebody that Spirit sends into your life. Whatever that little nudge inside is of who you should be talking to, or if somebody comes in and you have that little nudge about them, pay attention to it. It's heaven's help. And this person is going to be somebody who really does, in some way, shape, or form, alter your life. I love people like that. I do. So I'm being pulled to the angel therapy. What does this have to tell you? This person is going to do a lot of bringing that inner child out of you. I know that's probably something that you're tired of hearing about, but you need to learn how to play with life. You need to learn how to heal those child wounds. And you need to have the audacity to start new projects in your life. So yeah, it's all about your spiritual growth. This is for you. It's not to beat you down. I know that's what you're expecting, but believe it or not, you are worthy of so much more. All right, you. Time to manifest your boss muscles and know that you're completely protected in it. Now go get it. Bye. So what needs to be worked on right now is how you let people show up for you. I know that this has probably been a major disappointment in your life, and I was actually talking to more than one person about this super recently. It's how you let people show up for you because of how much your idealistic initial nature in life was just incredibly let down. Yes, it's made you cynical and self-protective, but that's all coming to be healed. There's realism and then there's cynicism. I understand them both. I mean, I know that you've probably been there too. It's time to actually let yourself be realistic in life and not have it have that overshadowing of cynicism. Somebody is coming in to support you, and they're going to help you work on forgiving every single one of those times that you had been let down. It's important that you do some grounding work right now. After you're done listening to these messages, I want you to go and get into a quiet space. There's so much noise around you. You need to get into a quiet space and have your head cleared. It looks like Spirit has been trying to get through to you to let you know what kind of support through either signs, symbols, or actually give you a visual, like a spirit visual. But there's so much movement around you that you kind of can't even get the message. And they want to connect with you. It's just, I feel like maybe this is one of those times where there's uncertainty. And you know how when we get into the spaces, it's like looking for a sign upon a sign upon a sign upon a sign. It's not going to be something that works out right now. Spirit can only tell you a million times what you need to do, and it just not getting through it makes you feel like you're alone, and you're not. So it's time for you to go get quiet, and that's probably going to be agitating for you because I know that you're used to chaos, and let the message come to you. This is going to be how support comes in. This is going to change your intentions behind your actions, and it's also going to be what seems to be putting a sense of harmony in your life. Actually, I see that detaching from electronics for a little bit, unless you're attached to them in a very necessary way. But you get what I'm saying. Don't make it weird. There's going to be the sense of unity that kind of comes into place. It's like you're not separate from your environment. Yeah. So anyway, go figure out the intentions and let Spirit get through to you. You got to take down your barrier a little bit.